Get rid of how to make a little file bigger. A little file bigger. So I add some stuff to stuff.txt. What do we need to do? You find the file name, grab the inode, read the inode in, okay?
Find the free blocks.
Now, if there may be some space left, depending on how big. Maybe I didn't use all of the data in. Maybe I needed 2 blocks, and each was 4K, but I only used half of the second block, so there's 2K left. So we're assuming we've exhausted that capability.
Now, for that, the operating system has to be real smart, isn't it?
There's a lot of stuff that goes on under the covers. All right, so I read the inode contents. Assuming that I need free blocks, I grab them. All right, take them off the free list. Update my file attributes in the inode. Record the new block addresses. Record the new data into the data blocks. Flush the inode out to disk. Yes, so I took a kind of a short step. Record new file data in the disk blocks. You'd have to actually flush them out, but right. So we're getting a little sloppy. I must have been 2 in the morning when I did this. How about reducing a small file? What do? Grab the file name, grab the inode, read the inode into memory, update the file attributes. For each unneeded disk block, remove the block address from the inode, put that block address on the free list. When it's all said and done, flush the inode back up.
So you would actually have to know the name of you would actually have to know the inode.
Of course, and that's in the directory listing. That's what the purpose of the directory file is for, to give you the inode number. All right? So, how about, we've done these. And here are some of the assumptions. So if you want, you can play around with this on yourself. So fork and exec, we already talked a little bit about fork. How are we doing on time?
Like 6 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, excellent. Shell. Here we go. This is a simple shell that uses what? Fork and exec. So let's see how it works. All right, here we go. All my standard IO, standard lib, string, standard, blah, blah, blah. I've got a series of objects. Good. So starting while 1, what does that do? Infinite loop. So while 1, run forever. Then I print out my $ prompt on line 23, 21. Then I use the fgets command. The fgets command grabs from standard in this case, up to n characters, sticks it into the string buffer called command. So whatever the person typed in, and hit the enter key. That's what shows up in this string called command. And then I strip off the carriage return at the end by putting a \0, which is the null byte. So now I've got just the command that they issued. Presumably it's the name of some program that they want to run. So now this thing called the string here that's called command contains in it the string name of whatever I'm trying to execute. And then what do? Yes, oops. Just to be a little more sophisticated, I parse it up. Okay, because you could do something like, copy Fred to Bill, right? So there could be a command plus a couple of arguments, couldn't there? And how are they separated on a command line? With a space, right? Copy, so CP space Fred space Bill. So this silly example, I'm looking for a space in between, all right? So the search is looking for a space. So essentially what's happened is this. CMD is the executable itself. argv1 is the value of the first command argument. argv2 is the value of the second command line argument. So now, then what do?
You go to if.
Line 33 forks the child.
So
Okay.
that if statement is considered. I didn't understand what you was talking about when I walked in early. That's what you're talking about, the fork.
Yes, so right here creates a child process. As soon as line 33 occurs, what's the scenario? As soon as line 33 takes place, what's the scenario? You have 2 copies of this code running, identical copies. Okay, with the exception that CPID in the parent is greater than 0, CPID in the child is exactly 0. Otherwise, they both fall through to line 38 here. So now I've got 2 identical copies of this code running. Now let's see what happens. All right? Ready? So, if CPID equals 0, what does that mean?
That it's a
It's
child.
the child, and look what it does. It does an exec. It execs, it's a special version. There's dozens of versions of exec depending on what you're trying to do. It execs, the command gives it the arguments. What does that do? What does exec do? It replaces the current image with the image of that which is to be execed.
Say that one more time.
One moment. Hey, baby. You're at a party. What?